Hey everybody, it's Thomas. I am bored out of my mind. Man, I need to shave too. What the heck? Anyways, there's been a lot going on this weekend. There's super fights locally, couple different events, and I didn't really get to train this weekend. But I took some footage from some of my guys from our Friday practice, and our Friday no gi practice um, ended up having two special guests that I'd like to point out. One is my buddy Joe Staley, who's a wrestling coach at one of the local high schools. His wrestling is excellent. He started jiu-jitsu in October, and the way that he rolls is very fast, very athletic, and very just fun. So he came to train with us on Friday as well. And second treat was my friend Monk came by, and he does Mongolian wrestling. So we had a mix of no-gi jiu-jitsu wrestling and Mongolian wrestling, all kind of intertwined at different points during the night, depending on what we were doing, whether we were drilling, whether we were on the ground, whether we were doing takedown practice. And it's actually good to see, but I've got a few different got a few different clips to go over. And this first one is funny to me because it's my buddy Joe um, getting triangle choked uh, by my good buddy Barkazad. So and this is the beauty of jiu-jitsu, the 27-year-old wrestling coach gets triangle choked by the 16-year-old jiu-jitsu kid. But also keep in mind, Barkasad has also done wrestling, so there's an overlap in skill. But on paper, Joe should have the advantage. Let's see how this goes. So I started rolling. I started recording right as Joe started to get trapped, and trying to posture up. He made a mistake there, in my opinion. Like right there, when he put his leg out like this, that I believe that makes it a lot harder for him to posture up out of the triangle choke. One of the primary defenses against a triangle choke is just to posture straight up so they can't lock it. Posture straight up, push the hips down. You're not completely out, but it makes it extremely difficult for them to finish it. Barkasar had it locked in and got the tap. Joe's a good sport. And I don't know if you could see, but Barkasad's over there smiling. Yeah. But, this is a good example of why you never underestimate anybody on a jiu-jitsu mat. You never know whether a 16-year-old could catch you, but at the same time, you never know if the old guy can get you. But we'll get into the old guy later. Let's see what's next. Oh, hold on. I gotta select. So here, let's pause it real quick. This is my buddy Joe again. From this point on, I think all the rest of the clips are from our takedown practice. I like to leave the last 15, 20 minutes of class. I get everybody on the wall and have everybody go out one at a time, just to do, some takedown practice. We sit on the wall, we heckle a little bit. It actually, brings everyone together. It's a good team building exercise. That's the way I do it. I let people, make playful comments. It's great. But, yeah, so Joe, of course, is the wrestling coach, and Jay on the right is a guard puller. So let's see how this plays out. So Jay's evading because at this point he would have pulled a guard. Joe's going in, trying to engage, trying to catch a leg, changing levels. There you go. Caught him right there. Single leg. And he should finish it right there. Just tripped him and boom. Poor Jay. But yeah, That's what we do on Fridays. Last 15, 20 minutes. Takedown practice. Oh, okay, so here, the guy on the left is Monk. He's a Mongolian wrestler. He started jiu-jitsu with us, I'd say maybe, I can't remember. It was the tail end of last year. So he's pretty new to the ground game. But on his feet, you know, he's got some skill. And of course, here's Joe again. Feeling each other out. Joe changed level, tried to go for like an ankle pick, I believe. Monk is feeling him out. He's kind of being a little bit evasive, but that's okay. This is supposed to be just a playful exercise. If locked up, Joe tried to, I think he called it a throw by, and Monk got out of it. Monk's changing levels. Monk went for a single leg, couldn't get it. Collar tie from Joe. Looks like he's trying to go for an arm drag up, and he got Monk down. But yeah, this matchup right here, guarantee you, it has the potential of being epic. Monk has some good takedowns. Joe's got some good takedowns. It's good to see the old school versus new school vibe from them. It's great. So let's go move on to the next one. So here, this is Joe again. Joe stayed in a lot this night. So the way I do the rules, winner stays in, loser takes a seat on the wall. But this is Joe versus Ash. Ash is kind of new to the class, but my good buddy Wilson, he's one of his friends, and they usually do some sort of grappling or jiu-jitsu at home. So he's not necessarily new to the game, so to speak. He's not necessarily new to grappling. So let's rewind and see how this plays out. So they've locked up. Ash has got oh, that's right. He pulled off a lat drop on him. It was so quick. Ash was so mad. Let's go to the next one. So this is Joe again, and Bill Gay. He's like my best friend / protege / little brother. Love him to death. His dad is also a pretty good wrestler, and Bill Gay has kind of picked up some of that, and he also has a mix of jiu-jitsu and a little bit of judo. So let's see how he scores off against the wrestling coach. So they're changing levels, feeling each other out. He goes for an ankle pick, misses. Joe is getting really good about getting his hips next to his opponents, which opens up a lot of techniques. Looks like Bill Gates got a deep underhook. Oh, Joe's got his leg, and he circles around to finish his takedowns. That's something that I picked up from him from this Friday. And it's so simple yet so effective. I feel stupid that I didn't pick up on that myself. But yeah, again, these two, this has the potential of being an excellent matchup. So when I get them on the mat at the same time again, we're definitely gonna do this one more time. Anyways, let's move on to the final video. So here is Monk on the right, the Mongolian wrestler, and Jay on the left, the guard puller. Jay's very athletic, and Monk is a very nice man. If he wanted to be mean, he could have dropped everyone if he wanted to. There he goes. He goes in again for a double leg. Really should change his level a little bit more instead of just bulldozing in. But it paid off here because you see he got him on the ground. Now Monk is still new to jiu-jitsu, so he's not used to getting on top and maintaining a position yet. But given time, the finish for his takedown here, because you see he gets him on the ground and then kind of stops. You know, in Mongolian wrestling, from what I understand, you get somebody on the ground, they've lost. As long as they're anything but their hands and feet touch the ground, they've lost, and that's the stopping point. So that carried over into here. Now, as Monk gets more acclimated to jiu-jitsu, you know that once your opponent hits the ground, the match doesn't end. So I like to instill in everybody, even though we do this exercise, at least try to get some sort of top position for 3 seconds. But yeah, and and you know, at the tail end here, he helps Jay up, and that's just classic from what I've seen from Mongolian wrestlers. They're very courteous to their opponents. Now, this was a lot of fun, and I encourage everybody to work on takedowns, even if you're not the type that actually likes to do them, even if you're like the guard pulling variety. You can make it fun. You know, this was the second time really that we've done this at the tail end of class. Well, maybe the third time. I think maybe the third time. But this is the second time that we've had Monk with us, and it was a blast. You know, again, it's good for team building, good for camaraderie. You know, nobody made any really nasty insults. There was some light trash talking. That's fine. You know, it was all good fun and it was hilarious. So I'll allow it. But yeah, that was my Friday, and it was amazing. After this, Monk brought out 2 of the traditional Mongolian wrestling outfits, and we did a little bit of that. And he showed us some classic Mongolian wrestling takedowns. And I will say this Friday in particular, where I took these clips from, was probably one of my, I'll just say it, this is probably one of my top 2 or 3 training sessions, just because we learned a lot of techniques. We got some good rolling, some good training in, some good drilling, and then we got a special treat with the Mongolian Wrestling Edition, on top of learning some wrestling techniques from my buddy Joe. So it was a good mix. You know. And the last thing I'll say before I sign off, if you have the chance, and you don't have to do it often, if you have the chance, go take a class in a different grappling art than what you're used to. So if you're a judoka, take a jiu-jitsu class. You may not be able to use the entirety of the technique that you learned during that class, but there's always going to be a little something that can fill in a skill gap. Now, the stuff that Monk taught, I'm not going to be able to do because of physical issues that I have. Not everything. But there was one technique he showed that was absolutely perfect for me. And I thank him for that. And going back to Joe, the techniques that he taught, again, for the application of jiu-jitsu, doing it in its entirety may not necessarily be the best thing, but there was little details that he showed that filled in some gaps in my jiu-jitsu and made it better. And that is awesome. So, yeah, man, this Friday was a treat. Big treat. So, yeah, that was it. I'm going to sign off because I'm tired. And quite frankly, I'm hungry too. And I will see y'all later. Oh, and one note. If you guys have any videos that you want me, Yana, Wale, or anybody on the panel to critique live, we're more than happy to give feedback. So go ahead and send us links, send us the videos. You can send it to me through Messenger, or you can ask me for my email at boozandbjj at gmail.com email address. I'll send everything to you, and you can send me the matches you want critiqued however you want, through a link, you can send us the physical videos, that's silly. You can send us the videos in whatever format, and we'll review it live the next time we have a live show. Yep, anyways, I'm out because I'm rambling. Bye.